What's going on, YuGiOh community? My name's Sam. You can call me SCALIK here on the YouTubes. But today we are super excited because I'm going to show you guys an updated method to my original video of how to make YuGiOh oricas or fake custom YuGiOh cards. And it was titled How to Make Common Cards Secret. So if you haven't seen that video, then it's a good thing that you're watching this video because this one's much better anyway. So, since I'm trying to be productive today, I decided to kill two birds with one stone, and since I have an order that has been on delay for a little too long, big sad, sorry, Nick's YuGiOh, I'm sorry, bud, I really meant to get this done sooner. I have decided to also film an updated tutorial on how to make cards. So, the first thing you need are a collection of secret rare cards of low value or that you just don't care about. The next thing you need is something to remove the ink on the card, which my personal chemical of choice here would be nail polish remover, specifically the nail polish remover that is 100% acetone. I get Equate because it's a Dollar General brand and it's like $1.50 a bottle. One of these is like probably 100-ish cards that rub off, and that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of rubbing, and you need to take some breaks because the finger gets all cramped. You start getting. The next thing you need are balls, cotton balls that you can use dabbed in acetone to remove the ink from all the cards that you do not care about. Once that is finished and you have your card mostly blank, you're gonna walk all the way over to your computer and hopefully your printer. I have an Epson XP6100 because I thought that my Canon, which worked perfectly fine, by the way, my Canon MX490 did a perfectly fine job. It can print up to 600 DPI. Minimum DPI you guys want, 300. Absolute minimum. If you go lower than that, the text is going to look blurry. It'll look really bad. Just don't. Just make sure it's at 600 DPI, and I'll explain what DPI is here in a minute. Long story short, I thought this one was broken because it wouldn't turn on, so I bought this one. Still wouldn't turn on. Figured out it was a breaker that was broken, so I bought a new printer for nothing. But it is pretty cool. It does have a higher quality rating. It can print photos a bit better. It's better color accurate, which is really nice. And it was only 150-ish bucks, and the cartridges for like color and black, I think it's like 50 or 60, so not too bad for ink, not too bad. But anyway, it's the one it's been serving me pretty well, and I'm liking it. So you'll have your cards up on your computer screen in Photoshop. It's what I use to ready to print, and I'm going over the process of putting all the items together, and then I will come out with sequential videos of the steps for like Photoshop, if you guys want Photoshop. This one is really just an update for people who have watched the last video. So I guess part 2 to this video be coming out in just a few days when I get my screen cap software up and running again. So, the inkjet paper plastic sheets that I use. I have 2 favorite brands. I think the one brand is actually an Epson brand, which is a bit more expensive, but is kind of worth it, and links will be down in the description. And then the other one that you can get on Amazon for fairly cheap is koala paper, which works perfectly fine. Quality's fine. It's just sharper images for things that you really want, like sharper images on. So high quality custom orders, they get the nice Epson sheets. Everything else gets the moderate sheets. So yeah. Next, and this one is kind of an advanced plus kind of thing. If you really want to go into like mass production and you're not just doing like maybe 2 or 3 a month or week or something like small like that, and you want to get into the big production, you can get these big freaking sheets of this reflective foil paper. And God, this stuff is so hard to find sometimes, and it's like you can search like foil paper and it's going to take you to a bunch of craft paper stuff that's not this. And this is the closest thing that I could find to like secret rare. So it's like hang on. So like the cards, right? Like you can have it with the straight lines, or if you turn it, oh, boom, secret pattern. See, like, it's not as like raindroppy or like glittery as, you know, actual secret rare, but this is the closest thing that I could find to mass production. I'll try and find a new link for this stuff, because when I bought it, there were this is cut down. This is like a third of one sheet cut down. And I haven't gone through it all yet. And it was so cheap. I got 5 huge sheets for like $35. And it's a lot of real estate, guys. It's a lot of real estate. Also, quick shout out to Julian on Twitter. Has a cool podcast called Set 5 Pass, which features. I don't think I've been on it yet. I've got to get on it because I haven't been on it yet. I got to get on it. I got to support him. Got to support him, man. Support him. Set 5 Pass podcast on Twitter. Check it out. It's cool. So after countless hours of rubbing, after you've removed all the ink and stuff off of the card, at least in the places that matter, such as the level and attribute, you can leave like a crust around the card for things that aren't gonna get the secret pattern shown through. So if you did like this is acceptable. This is minimum effort. You can leave the crust on there if you want. I'm actually just now, I'm going to refer to this amount of ink around the card as the crust from this point on. You heard it first here. Okay, now keep in mind, a lot of this stuff up until this point right now is a lot of it was in the original video. Not much has changed aside from... Yeah, not much has changed aside from like the new paper that I showed you guys. I didn't have that stuff before. But the main thing that changed that really made a difference is Sharpie pens. I have to get some Sharpie branding from this video, because these things, they're really good, and they make doing this really easy, because you just paint it on. You just draw it on. It's so easy. No more rubbing alcohol and primer paint mixture and all that crap. Now, there is another video that shows how to do oricas by printing directly onto the foil with a certain mixture of coverings, of liquid coverings, but a lot of the products used in that video have been discontinued. I'll link the video up like right here and have you guys watch it if it's still available. I'm gonna try and do that, and then the other main thing I still have not figured out is how to make the name secret, apart from masking out the name completely in Photoshop, which means it would be clear on the paper, and just scratching it out tiny, like little tiny like bits with a toothpick. That's mainly been the strategy, and it doesn't always look good, and a lot of times it doesn't look good, and we're gonna experiment with doing some Cricut work, because my wife is also a very crafty person. So she is going to attempt to micro cut some YuGiOh card names so we can have actual like embossed foiled names. So I don't know. I think it's going to be too tiny. I think all that stuff is going to be too tiny, and it's not going to be able to adhere to this plastic properly, and it'll get like messed up, or it'll be like easy to scratch it off or something. I don't have too many high hopes for it, so we haven't tried it yet, but I really just wanted to get this updated how-to video out for you guys, because a lot of you guys seem to enjoy the original one, and you have a lot of time on your hands now. So you're just like, yeah, dude, let's see it. All right, so after you know, as well as you can, pretty perfectly, whatever your standards are, paint out the foreground, leaving the background clear. You can then look at where on the card you can line up. I try to line up the original Eye of Anubis with the one on the card, and a lot of times it's pretty close, and a lot of times it's not. It kind of, I need to do some stenciling or something for it, but yeah, it's so hard to line it up because cards from different years are kind of different border sizes, and it moves the eye. So it's a little hard to get it perfect. But leaving the eye of Anubis clear so it's reflective just kind of adds a nice touch to the card. It feels very familiar if you do it that way. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. But yeah, so this is going to be a nice finished product here. All the nice secret foiling. Very cool, very dope. So the best way that I have found to layer a card has been to overlay a table with something glass, put a light underneath it, and then put the card over it. Now, you guys are familiar with my favorite glue, Loctite. They have a new one, the Gel Control. If you squish it flat, it is a super thin layer of just extra rigidity, and it's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. I highly recommend it. Pretty cool stuff. It does dry extremely fast. So it dries pretty fast and then cures in like an hour. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff. So what you guys want to do, put it on the koala paper or whatever clear paper you're using. I like to put it right in the attribute. So that sometimes looks really cool. We put up in the corner. A couple dots around the side. I have Anubis. Just all around the main edges of the card. Bunch of tiny little dots. Some in the tech box. Some on the card are mainly on the front portion. There we go. All right, now that it's primed and ready, so we got to be quick. Make sure it's correct. And line it up. Side to side. If you want to, you can sometimes negotiate the position by scooching it with your fingers. Pushing and pulling on the card. Also helps to spread the glue, spread out nice and even. That is a pretty even set on the border. Could be a little further over this way. There we go. All right. And now, without further ado, Secret Rare Gladiator Beast Atorix. Wow! 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 Whoa! 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 Wow! Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm still kind of pissed I can't figure out how to do the name. If anyone wants to come clean and let me in on the secret of how you get a good name on an Orica card, please teach